I'd like to call this special called meeting at 6:08 PM. May we rise for the invocation. Mr. Arjona, can you lead us in the invocation, sir?
Bow our heads. Heavenly Father, thank you for your many and abundant blessings. We thank you and ask you for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion. Thank you for being our source of guidance today and always. In your name we pray. Amen.
Flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Under public comments, we have Ms.
Good evening. The first item was at the public hearing. We're going to take no action on that one, Mayor. We'll do it in another meeting. The next item is under presentation. We have a Parks and Recreation, Planning and Zoning, and the library reports. Those three departments are here present if there's any questions that you may have.
Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Mr. Willingham, tomorrow there's a Red Ribbon Parade, correct?
Yes. Yes,
Can
sir.
you tell us a little bit so that people that are viewing
Okay,
online?
it's an annual Red Ribbon Parade that's put on through PSJISD. Each of the three cities rotate as far as hosting the parade, through their city. The parade will commence at 9 a.m. It'll start at City Hall. It'll run south on Nebraska to Carmen, and then go west on Ridge to the high school, and it'll finish at the mini stadium there at the high school.
Will there be any activities there that you're
They
aware of?
informed us that this year there was not going to be
Okay,
much
so it's
activities
just a
going on.
parade.
It's just going to be a small parade. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Willingham,
As far as the, I'm noticing here that the month of October is pretty busy for you guys, right?
Very busy.
And as far as like for the cancer awareness and the Halloween festival, how are we doing there? Is everything up to par, up to
Yes,
this
we-
point?
Yes, we've been meeting with the committee on the Cancer Awareness Walk, and we're good with that. The Halloween Festival, I believe, they're taking already vendors for that, and we've solidified the other amenities that we'll have that night. So everything's coming into place real well.
Now,
If they
as
have any
for-
questions, they can call the office at 223-2350 and speak to our events coordinator, Mr. Ruben Rodriguez, and he can give them more details or answer any questions they may have regarding the Halloween festival and/or the Cancer Walk as well.
And as far as Noche de Paz, you meeting regularly on that?
That as well, we're meeting, we're going out, looking for our sponsors. We've had several commit already, and that date's been set, which is Saturday, December the 9th. And that'll also, we'll start with a cook-off where teams will start arriving Friday evening, and we'll go through the night. So we'll have a sanctioned IBCA cook-off in conjunction with Noche de Paz.
Good deal. Thank you so.
To follow up on the Cancer Walk, Mr. Willingham.
Yes, sir.
It's set for October 28th, correct?
October 28th, yes.
Are they able to register there at the office after all? or-
We will be registering at the office the week prior, the Monday, and I'll give you those dates right now. It will be Monday, the 23rd through Thursday, the 26th. They can register at our office for that event. And then after that, they can register the morning of, and that event will start at Carmen Elementary. And it'll start and end there that morning.
Go ahead, sir.
Ms. Yassin, Library Board. I received several phone calls regarding a board meeting that was scheduled yesterday, the day before yesterday? Yes, that no quorum? Is there a reason why it was scheduled for 5 o'clock?
The chairperson had her library board meeting on, she has them on the second Wednesday. Ours is on the first Wednesday. Well, we could not meet on the 4th, so we had to meet the second, and her meeting starts at 6.
Her meeting starts at 6, so we were accommodating her schedule.
No, not just for this time, because our meetings are at 6, the first Wednesday of the month.
The first Wednesday of the month.
Yes, sir.
Is that meeting going to be made up? Do you know? It's going to be rescheduled? Who decides?
We didn't, I'm sorry?
Who decides if you're going to reschedule or not?
The board,
The board itself?
yes, yes.
So
I
any
can,
member-
I'm not,
Any member request it?
no, sir.
No.
They
Who
didn't
can request it?
Excuse me?
Who will request a special call meeting of your board?
The board members.
That
Yeah,
was my
that-
question. So any board member can request it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions?
Okay. We'll go to item D. Under presentation, we have sewer system regulations. This is an ordinance that the city of San Juan amending the Code of Ordinances by regulating the discharge of waste into the sanitary sewer of the city of San Juan, Texas, establishing a permit system, establishing a system of charges for services rendered, regulating unsewered and miscellaneous discharges, and providing for enforcement. We have here Mr. Cervantes to give us a little brief discussion on that. It's a presentation.
Mayor and City Commission, basically, this is, we've been having some problems with some restaurants that, because they're not collecting the grease properly, is causing problems in the sewer system. So we're asking for permission to submit an ordinance where we will, first we will give a warning, but if they don't, if after the warning, if the problems continue with certain restaurants, this ordinance will allow us to impose fines on problem areas that is causing problems with the sewer system. So this is basically to request permission to prepare an ordinance that will go first to to the city attorney, and then before you for your consideration.
So this is just a presentation, right? We-
Just a presentation, if we could get like a consensus that to go forward with, we already have an ordinance kind of ready. So the next step is to submit it to the city attorney for the legal review. Once we finish with the legal review, it will come before you, maybe at the next meeting or the following meeting, for your consideration for adoption.
And who will be enforcing this ordinance?
It will be the utilities department.
Okay, and do they have someone assigned to go around and,
Well, code enforcement will help. Yeah. The code enforcement division of my department. But without an ordinance, we cannot go after restaurants that are causing problems with the city sewer system.
So this is just requesting permission to get started on,
Yes. Yeah, if I could get a consensus from the commission to proceed in preparing an ordinance for your consideration in the future.
second,
Oh, it's
Just a
just a consensus to
Okay.
go
But
forward.
we'll do that. We'll bring it before the commission on the next couple of meetings. Once it's drafted and by the legal attorneys, we bring it before you also that we can discuss it, and at that point, we'll approve it.
And I
Yeah,
just
that's-
need
it's just under a
yes.
presentation?
Yes.
That's fine, and as far as on my part, I'm fine with it, and I don't know, Commissioner Maldonado?
And it's just a few restaurants that they're not collecting the grease, and we need to get after them a little bit.
Commissioner Garcia? Okay. Thank you. Anything
you.
else, sir? Okay.
I have the next agenda item.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Okay, I'm sorry.
The next item is an item that was tabled on the previous meeting, and this is a public hearing ordinances. Conduct a public hearing and consider an ordinance in the first reading for an amendment to Appendix A, Unified Development Code, Chapter 2, Article 4, Section 11 of the San Juan Code of Ordinances to allow the car wash facilities in the in the Expressway Corridor District. Mr. Cervantes?
Yes, this was a table, if you remember, I guess it needs to be removed from the table.
Is there a motion to remove,
so moved.
the table?
Second.
So, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, during the previous meeting, there were a few concerns about the ordinance. Planning and Zoning Commission had recommended approval. We added some language in the ordinance, which is on page 46.
41.
41?
Yes, sir.
We added some language there for your consideration at the bottom of page 41, which basically puts distance requirements along the expressway, which 10,000 feet minimum separation. So if the ordinance is approved and if the Blue Wave comes in as they're proposing, based on this additional language that we put in the ordinance, that one will be the only one allowed along the expressway with this additional language. Now, the one proposed at the Homes of America property is not going to have frontage along the expressway, so this language will not apply to that proposed car wash because that car wash is going to have frontage on a proposed internal street.
So what you're saying,
But anything else along the expressway where the business will have frontage along the expressway, if the Blue Way comes in, then no other,
and that's,
no other cars will be allowed unless the
well,
commission.
when you say
gives-
allow, you're talking about along the corridor,
Along the expressway corridor, yes.
and that's what we're looking at on this language.
That's the
additional
That's the
language.
additional
Yeah,
language
exactly.
for your consideration.
Legal counsel, is that,
That's what, because the section that he's amending is applicable to the expressway corridor. So that he put that distance requirement, it's within that section.
it's good for that section, but if somebody else wants to come in, is that allowed to restrict those other people from not being in the expressway?
And you can do distance requirements in zoning, yes.
So we do have control of who we want that.
Let me go ahead and open it up. I'm going to go ahead and open up this hearing at 6:23 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Can you please state your name for the record, sir?
Rick Ramirez.
Thank you.
I'm still against this proposal to bring in Blue Wave as a, consider to amending the ordinance that it states. A reminder, Mr. Commissioner Maldonado said on a previous meeting, nobody wants a car wash. That's not what the people are asking for. What we are asking for. Mayor Garza said, the issue I have, we open this up and amend this. We having more car washes down the corridor is something that I don't know if I'm too thrilled about. Now, having those two examples set, now we have an additional new language on the ordinance, which is basically manipulating the ordinance to only allow the first come, first serve. That is not how government works, people. That is practically playing with ordinances as you see fit, and if it's convenient or not. This ordinance is only up here because of a restaurant, which has nothing to do with the ordinance itself. If you read it correctly, it says for car wash. Nowhere does it say a restaurant. This is a conditional use permit for car washes. To amend that section on the ordinance. This is not for restaurants, I remind you, not for restaurants at all. That having said, again, we do not manipulate ordinances as we see fit with language like this, and this is an example of what should not happen in government. Thank you.
Anyone else for or against? State your name for the record, sir.
Erasmo Garcia, 1 East 12th Street. Mayor,
Thank you.
Commissioners, the reason that I'm for this item is that, first of all, we've got some big projects that are coming into our community. And the more businesses we bring in with you all's help, that means we're gonna make some of these other projects come to light without having to raise taxes. Because the more businesses, again, we're gonna be having more revenue plus creating jobs and sales tax. So the more we can do it, we won't have to go tell the taxpayers, hey, well, we need a bond issue. So the more that you all can help bring in these businesses, we don't have to worry about raising our taxes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission.
Good evening,
Mighty Meldon and Hunt. Thank you once again for allowing me the opportunity to present this to this commission. What I took from the last meeting is, I think a number of commissioners asked for a visual. So we went out and we took a couple pictures that I'd like to share with you. So this is a picture of the new prototype of the Blue Wave Car Wash right before the sun goes down. And the importance of this picture is that they have these sensors that when it starts to get dim at night, the LED lights turn on, and they're on all night, so it's kind of, it's cool, in my opinion. I think it's nice. And here's a picture of Blue Wave at night. They stay on throughout the night until the morning, until the sensors tell them, hey, there's adequate light outside. You no longer need light to illuminate the area, so I think this is very aesthetically pleasing. They're not saving any money on the construction of this. Everything's built with corrosion-resistant materials. And I do think that this meshes well with everything else that your EDC is trying to bring to the city. As it stands, we have a master plan that we're working on. I know we're talking about restaurants or whatnot, but this is what's in play at this time. Maybe leave the restaurant names out of it, but I think everyone knows who your EDC is working with and who the discussions have been with. But this will be the catalyst for the rest of this development. This will come in first. The design plans are 70% complete. We have a 90% CD submittal next week. So this will come in probably January, start construction. And with this, the roads will be built, hopefully to bring in these other tenants that I think will fit the city well. So not only do I think this serves as an amenity to the community, but to the people that work and do business in San Juan. Me personally, I have a Blue Wave sticker, and anytime I'm in Weslaco or Harlingen and I don't see a long line, I swing in and they send a statement to my office at the end of the month. So it's a different concept. It's not from Texas, it's from San Francisco. The architect is from San Francisco, so it's a different design. I think it'll fit San Juan well. Every other city that it's in is doing very well. The community likes it. It tends to bring in other tenants in the surroundings, and they complement each other well. So it does have major jobs and economic impact, this development moving forward. I think I mentioned last time that when Saul, the owner of the bank, came to me, he said he was on a 5 to 7 year plan to build the bank. If this goes through, I think that gets expedited by cut in half at a minimum. So happy to answer any questions that you might have.
What's the square footage of that?
The Blue Wave?
Yes, sir.
The tunnel length, the width, I think, is 28, I believe, so it's fairly small. It's nothing major. The lot it's on is under an acre, so it'll be the smallest lot on here. We ran some draft economic impacts that I'll share with you here in a second. But the way we looked at this was the Blue Wave, a Chick-fil-A, an unknown who we're working with, another tenant, the bank, and then 3 additional pad sites, because there is 3 acres left. And with this project, it'll provide services to all the lots for water and sewer, as well as the common drives.
Use the words hopefully. That makes you're not too sure what's gonna come in?
I don't want to commit to anything, but that's what we're working to.
For us to take a action, I think we need a commitment too. You know, we cannot base ourselves on a decision just on hopefully.
Correct, and for instance, Blue Wave can't even commit to this site unless this gets passed. And so the tenant that's tied to them, they can't commit to some site that's not approved, right? So this needs to happen first. Blue Wave needs to record the plat. They need to own the land before they market it. And that's kind of just the way things work. So this is the first step. We have the plat approved. Once it's recorded, you can go out and look for tenants.
Why didn't you put Blue Wave next to the Chick-fil-A in FAR, you know?
FAR?
Yeah.
In FAR, it was 2 separate landowners. But I can tell you what's going on in FAR. The Blue Wave went in first. Murphy's Oils went in second. Khan's Grill's going in third. I actually turned in the building permit last week. And El Pollo Loco's under design. I'm working on that as well.
But Chick-fil-A went before.
Chick-fil-A did go before, and it was bought from the FAR EDC, so
Yeah, and
Different
I kind of
scenarios.
asked that, and they never even, that you all had never even questioned who put the Blue Wave next to Chick-fil-A.
we actually did, and I was actually part of those meetings.
So they decline you?
No, they didn't.
They decline you?
Did they decline us?
Yes, to put it next to Chick-fil-A?
Not necessarily, no.
Any other questions?
Is the owner for the other car wash here? The one that wants to put the other car wash by the AB Motors? Well, but he's the one working on that other. Sí, sí, yeah. ¿Cómo se siente usted si caso le dijimos a usted que no puede poner un car wash en la orilla del freeway?
I think I can answer that for him.
Buenas tardes. A sus órdenes.
Sí, esta ordenancia le estamos dando permiso nomás a un car wash que se ponga y ya no vamos a poner otro ahí. ¿Cómo se siente usted si en la propiedad de usted que va a poner un car wash también? Si no lo dejamos poner en la orilla del freeway.
Bueno, yo no pienso ponerlo en la orilla del expressway. Nosotros pensamos ir sobre Wisconsin.
Ok, so si le damos el otro, usted no tiene problema.
Hicimos el diseño en la parte de atrás. Sabíamos de la ordenanza que no se podía poner en la parte de adelante.
If you remember, I mentioned that the language that was added will not impact the homes of America because the proposed car wash in that property is going to front on that internal street.
No, I understand what you said. I'm asking his opinion on his view. I understand the wording in your writing, but I want to know his opinion because we're telling a client that that's the only car wash going to be. I want to know his response. That's why I'm asking it. If I had a question for you, Mr. Cervantes, I would ask you.
¿Algo más?
Gracias, señor.
De nada.
So just to clarify, we're talking about the corridor in this issue. And at any time, if for some reason in the future, if this commission decides to go back and let someone else come back, we can come back and amend it.
And to clarify, this additional language will not impact the Homes of America car wash, because that one is gonna have.
I understand that.
On an internal street.
I understand. That's, I want to make it clear. We're talking about just the corridor.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
The expressway, and that's it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the other car wash will be
Okay.
allowed.
Okay, good. Any other questions? If not, I'm going to go ahead and close. Excuse me? Oh, okay.
¿Recuerdan mi exponencia pasada? Decía que mi inglés era muy malo. Le pedí a Emiliano que me acompañara, él me ayuda para los desarrollos. Hablamos de que si le dan permiso a él, ¿no me dan permiso a mí?
Oh, no.
Ok.
Usted está permitido a donde está como lo hicieron.
Ah, ok.
Más que yo le estaba preguntando si usted no tenía problemas, que no estaba pensado usted ponerse en la orilla del freeway, lo tiene allá. Pero aquí esta ordenanza dice que nomás ahí le vamos a dar permiso en la orilla del freeway y no ni un otro car wash.
Sí, originalmente nosotros hemos pensado poner el car wash adelante, pero sí nos comentaron que había una restricción por cuestión estética del expressway, entonces se hizo el cambio del diseño, que realmente no estamos pidiendo permiso para el lavado, pero como la vez pasada veníamos a verlo a la colonia y salió lo lavado, dije, pues bueno, voy si se ofrece algo.
Y la razón que le pregunté es porque a mí me han dicho que si le dábamos permiso a uno, pues ¿por qué a usted no le iban dado? Que iba a decir usted, mi pensamiento era ponerle en la orilla del freeway.
Originalmente sí, así era, ponerlo, porque bueno, pues hay más tráfico. La ventaja del terreno que nosotros estamos comprando es que tiene también la parte de atrás. Cualquier cosa aquí estoy a sus órdenes.
Any other questions?
Yeah, it's open.
Go ahead, it's open. Yes, ma'am. Just state your name for the record, please.
Maria Reyes.
Thank you.
I am for it because I get kind of nervous when I talk. Because we need to have San Juan improve. I've lived here all my time, all this time. And we, the older ones, are getting kind of like, but what about the young people, the younger people? What about other businesses? They drive by and they see nothing. You drive by other cities and you see a lot. Even my kids, I tell them, would you like to live in San Juan? They say, no, there's nothing. Why would we live there? Even myself, where do I go eat? Somewhere else. This is really pretty. I think it will help San Juan. And so what if we don't get Chick-fil-A? Suppose we get somebody else, some other eatery. I'm tired of seeing all these taquerias, these restaurants, and I think Mr. Garcia made a comment, we talked, he said, we already have 2 car washes. Yeah, but they're old. What about all these restaurants that we have? Why do we keep bringing so many Mexican restaurants? Why do we have other restaurants that we can have, Why do we have so many taquerias? So if we have this car wash, it's gonna look really nice. It's gonna help San Juan. And me, myself, living here, like I was telling some people, I wish I could take my little house and move it somewhere else, because there's nothing here, So I am for it, and I hope that you all see that, that we do need to improve San Juan, because there is nothing. I've been talking to people, I've been talking to, you guys, I've talked to you all, what are we gonna do with here, what are we gonna do here, there's nothing, So, that's all I have to say.
Thank you, ma'am.
I can discuss on what I think on the.
I was about to.
Well, hey, guys, and going to what Mr. Ramirez said earlier, again, my position on it, I needed a visual, I want to see what, Now, yes, I wasn't for a car wash. I like the Chick-fil-A idea. We're not looking for a car wash. But since we've tabled the item, and I've gotten calls on it, and I've caught myself driving around, and oh, look, there's a Blue Wave. I've caught myself checking it out, looking at it. Going to what you said, my daughters that are in high school are driving now, they brought it up. Hey, and what? And, it's innovative. Give it that. It looks good. The neon, the whole, it's a small space. It will produce jobs, revenue for the city. Maybe it brings in the Chick-fil-A, which I'm hoping for. Maybe it brings in other businesses. At the end of the day, what I don't want is we don't take a chance on it, Commissioner. We don't. What happens if we don't? Nothing. I se va a quedar. Now, yes, maybe, but the other people are going to come in, all that. you know what, that can take a year, 2, 3, 4, by the time we get everything, the project is 5 years from now, and it's still an empty space. My thing is, you know, thinking about it the last week, my position is, I've seen them, they're around. You know, my mother drives to Westaco. She says to go every other 2 weeks. I didn't even know that. You know, so little knickknacks. I've never used one. I like it. I think it looks good. I think at night, passing by our car dealerships on the expressway, you have the luxurious cars, and you do have a nice, innovative, state-of-the-art building, Blue Wave. Hopefully that attracts other companies. So at this point, I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna go for it, and I don't know where you guys are on it, but I'm gonna agree to move on it.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? Well, let me just clarify why I ended up tabling this item, because I just wanted to make sure to see whether we were able to put some kind of restrictions along the corridor when in reference to car washes. Obviously, legal came back and they said you can, but now I'm assuming in the future, you know, we can come back and look at it again. I mean, you know, but at this time, you know, it's just something that I feel that, I mean, we got to move forward, and you know, we're all going to have an opportunity here right now, as soon as that closes out, and determine what's best for the city of San Juan. So, anyone else has any comments or questions?
Navarro, 425 Jardine Lane, San Juan, Texas.
Thank you, sir.
I respect each and every one of you commissioners up there. It takes a lot to be a commissioner, good and bad, you know, and you do the best you can to make us move forward or whatever it needs to be done. But listening to Ms. Reyes, is that correct? She's right. I mean, I got 3 grown kids, and I know each and every one of you have children, and mine are graduated, you know, they're still going to school, some of them. They come back and, you know, we wind up going to Chick-fil-A over there at Westlaco, or that way, Taco Bell that way, this way. And we need to bring the future up. We've been at a standstill for a long time. Sometimes we have to grab what's in reach for us and to make it better for the children that are now adults that need jobs while they're going to colleges. And, you know, they're jobs that I'm not going to go do. I'm not going to go wash a car. I'm not going to go be vacuuming. I mean, that's for the younger generation. The restaurant businesses, of course, you know, we need to bring some. Of course, we need to bring stores. So I'm in agreement with Ms. Ramirez. You know, we do need to move forward. We need to think positive. I respect everybody's decision, you know, but it's time to move. I've been here for about 23 to 24 years, and we've been part. So I respect all of y'all. Y'all are making good decisions. We are moving forward in some ways. So please consider it and think of the future and the future of the children's children. Thank you.
Sure. Anyone else? If not, I'm going to go ahead and close this at 6:41 p.m. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Next item, Mayor, Commissioners, consider adoption of an ordinance in the first reading granting to AEP Texas Incorporated, its successors and assigns a non-exclusive franchise to construct, maintain, and operate lines and appurtenances and appliances for conducting electricity in over, under, and through the streets, avenues, alleys, and public places of the city of San Juan, Texas. Mr. Cervantes.
Yes, our existing franchise agreement expired in 2016, so we're trying to extend the existing franchise agreement. Mr. Lee Jones from AEP is here if you have any questions.
Any questions from the commission? No? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Next item, Commissioners, there's no action on the next item, which says consider authorizing city manager to enter into the contract for the purchase of water between the city of San Juan Hidalgo Irrigation District. No action on this meeting.
No action at this time. Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting has been adjourned at 6:43 PM. Thank you.